Good morning, Guardians. Briar Rabbit here. I love Destiny. This game, in my opinion, is revelatory. A seamless combination of PvP and PvE, a loot-based shooter with near-perfect controls, a game world with unlimited possibilities, combining futuristic sci-fi, sword and sorcery fantasy, and even a little rootin' Western action for good measure. This game pulls from so many previously established genres like first-person shooters, MMOs, looters, and pulls each of those pieces together into an amazingly cohesive package. It's stunning, really. The gameplay, the actual act of firing a gun in this game, is one of the most satisfying and best feeling in any game I've ever played. Then add to that the interesting enemies, 6-man raids, a compelling story, loot collection, and PvP. You end up with what is, to me, one of the best games that has ever graced a console. It's so good that it has literally changed my life. I often wonder what it is about the Destiny community that encourages so many to share so much of themselves in such a positive way. And I think it comes down to the Fire team. This game was designed to be a cooperative experience. In every mission, strike, or patrol, you are encouraged to bring in 2 of your friends and share the experience together, to work as a team to overcome challenges. This is amplified when the player enters raids. It may seem like old hat now, but honestly, think of the achievement of getting 6 friends into a fire team, then coordinating your actions and strategies to attempt a raid. It's a goddamn miracle that these things ever get done, and Destiny players have gotten so good that you can just grab a bunch of random Guardians off an LFG site and expect to have a successful run. This game breeds fire teams and clans out of necessity, and the community runs with it. Imagine how risky it must have felt for Bungie when developing Destiny to lock the Vault of Glass, the best part of vanilla Destiny, behind the requirement for a 6-man fire team. It was unprecedented for a console shooter at the time and must have made them incredibly nervous. I love the fact that any weapon I find in Destiny can be used to kill the minions of darkness, or be brought into the Crucible and used to mow down other Guardians. There are hundreds of weapons available to me, and collecting them for PvP or PvE adds a real sense of accomplishment to my time with Destiny. I love it, and so do many of you. And yet, we complain. A lot. Why is that? Some would say we complain because we love it, and there is truth to that. We play this game so much that when something, some mechanic or item, isn't working just right, we see it over and over again, and it drives us nuts. The stuff we love is so good that when an issue does arise and feels broken, it sticks out like a sore thumb. We want to see it fixed, and we tell Bungie, and sometimes Bungie fixes it. And then boom! Then we know they're listening, we know we are being heard, and that our comments, our complaints, and our suggestions are not falling on deaf ears. That when we take the time to write out an in-depth blog post or a YouTube video, that we may actually be contributing to making this game better. There are multiple examples of this throughout Destiny's history. Weapon balance changes, game mode additions, bugs, so many times where the community has asked for something and Bungie has delivered. It's one of the best parts about being a Destiny fan. Look, we all know there are issues with this game, but we are lucky. We have Deej and Cosmo out there on the front lines as community managers of this game, listening to us, bringing that feedback to the developers, and then communicating their responses back to us. Does it happen with every issue the community has with Destiny? No. And it may not happen as fast as players would like, but it does happen. In fact, if a bit of common sense is applied by the player, and the realization is made that major changes to the game or overhauls to underlying systems take a lot of time and money, then I actually think Bungie is knocking it out of the park. Just look at their track record. Look at the huge number of changes that they've made to this game since it was released. Look at the things that they've added that were community requests. You don't have to look far. Hell, Sparrow Racing League is returning next week, and What is a better example of a feature that we requested and Bungie delivered on? So we complain, we criticize, and we make suggestions not because we hate the game or its developers, but because we love it. We want to see it improve, and Bungie has shown us that they are listening. Not everybody in the community has the same attitude. Some in the Destiny community would say that complaining is pointless and boring. Play the game we have and be happy with it. Or play something else. But what does this do? What do we gain by remaining silent? What does Bungie gain? Imagine if this was everybody's outlook. Say something affects the game and the player experience in a truly negative way. I don't know, purely theoretical here. Let's imagine two guns, maybe exotic hand cannons that dominate the Crucible. They rely on broken mechanics to make all of Destiny's hundreds of other guns feel extraneous and not worth using. Players get sick of it. They don't say anything, they just stop playing Crucible and move along. Where does that put Bungie? They see players leaving the game and not coming back, but they don't know why. They make changes that aren't informed by player opinion and experience, but by raw data. The data shows people don't like the Crucible, so they spend less time developing it. The Crucible experience suffers and the problem snowballs. But what if players speak out and voice their opinions? They say, hey Bungie, Thorn is everywhere, and its damage over time mechanic makes the Crucible a pile of cancer, and don't even get me started on the range of the last word. What does that do? It tells Bungie why we stop playing and gives them the information they need to improve the experience. Now obviously language like that isn't good for anybody, but the point remains. Bungie has shown that they listen to their community. They respond to issues of weapon balance, matchmaking, bugs, and feature suggestions. And that is why I'll keep asking. Because I love this game. I want to see it keep getting better. Bungie has created something great, and I think it will only continue to get better over time as we see Destiny 2 released, and even beyond that. But when I do have an issue, I will not sit quietly and play the game I have, nor will I accept others telling me to do so. I will voice my concerns with the full knowledge that Bungie hears them. That is why being part of the community is so great, and that's what the community asks of me. It's why people ask me to bring up topics of concern on the Destiny Community Podcast, and I take that responsibility very seriously. When listeners repeatedly bring up an issue, like the lack of vault space in Rise of Iron, I don't tell them to delete their old weapons or to enjoy the game we have and wait for Destiny 2. I talk about it. I am lucky to have a place where I can share these opinions and criticisms publicly, and will continue to do so. In fact, if I didn't, I would be ashamed of myself for letting down the community, which has given me so much. I am incredibly grateful for all the support the community has shown for me and the work I do on this YouTube channel, on the Destiny Community Podcast, and on Twitch. But sometimes that support isn't free. Sometimes I am asked to draw attention to a concern that players have. This is why I ask at the end of videos for your input, why we take Twitter questions on DCP, and why I love the Twitch chat so much, because we are a community. And we have concerns. We know that Bungie is listening, so we just have to make sure that the ones that are the most important get heard. So I will complain and criticize, not because I hate Bungie or Destiny, but because I love them. I want to see the game I love continue to improve. The Destiny community has given me a platform from which to voice their concerns, and I will do my best not to let them down. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you have a topic or community creation that you'd like to see featured on a future episode of GMG, shoot me a tweet with the link, a description, and the hashtag #GoodMorningGuardians. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.